So let's have a look at another week between the 21st and the 27th of October. We got the time when we have to start thinking about ourselves in a different way. So are you a victim or are you a villain? Are you actually taking charge or are you waiting for things to happen? This is the time to decide which way you want to go. Especially now we've got a lot of water on energy, and we do have at least Venus in the sign of Sagittarius, which gives us a little bit more positive attitude towards life. Nevertheless, we still feel that energy. So we have to think about what is important to us, how we want to, where we want to perceive, where we want to go, what sort of things do we want to think about. So this is the time to basically make a decision about what's been happening over the past couple of weeks. With all the full moons and the eclipses and the Pluto. So this is the time to decide, are you staying, are you going, are you moving forward, or do you want to just dwell on your past forever now? So we're starting with the week, with an aspect of Mercury making a trine with Saturn. It's a time when we have to look seriously at our work. What is it you want to do? How do you want to catch up on work? Good news. We will feel like we have to be more practical in our approach. So think about mistakes that you need to correct. Think about any sort of plans that you've had. This is the time to think about work or study. So you might sign up for university, or you might sign up for some sort of courses that you want to do. This is the time when you realize hard work pays off. We will realize something. We will actually understand something for a change. So this is the time when we might have to have a very important discussion with somebody in our life. On top of that, on Tuesday, we also have the Sun making a square with Pluto. The Sun will still be in Libra. So this is about fair. How fair is the situation? It's actually one of the most difficult aspects this week, because we might feel like we are doing what we're supposed to, but still we're not getting what we should, or we're being told off for that. So there is a bit of an ego conflict. Maybe somebody is imposing something on you. Maybe you feel like you have to be more, start thinking more about yourself. There might be somebody might be quite obsessive about you. Where do you put hard work? Do you actually put hard work? Who is your enemy? Is there anyone that you don't want to be playing with? Maybe you have to work around something. With a square, it requires you to take action differently. Maybe whatever you've been doing so far, even though it has been fair, it has to change. Maybe sometimes, being more practical would be better. So not necessarily everything that is morally fine is good. It's not that I encourage you to do something immoral. It's just that maybe sometimes a little lie is not necessarily a big lie. So this is the time when we have to think about that. On Wednesday, the sun goes into Scorpio. So this is the time. I love Scorpio energy. It's all about motivation. What motivates you? I mean, with the sun, this is your ambition. This is your drive. Maybe your hurt is motivating you. Maybe your trauma is motivating you. Maybe you have to change, or you decide to transform in order to move forward. Maybe you are jealous, and jealousy encourages you to take action. Or maybe you're revenge, who knows? So, or maybe there are financial gains that will be driving you towards a success. But one way or another, with Scorpio energy, there is something that needs to change, so that you actually start seeing results. And the decision will be up to you. Do you want to make that decision? Do you want to move forward? Do you want to make those sort of changes in order to reach a higher potential? We do have a first quarter of the moon on Thursday, so watch out for that, because we might be emotionally unstable a little bit, and we will be quite hectic. Why? Because on Friday morning, Mars is making a sextile with Uranus. I love that aspect. We will feel very positive, very creative. Like out of a sudden, we have all of those ideas, quite innovative, higher confidence, higher security levels. We might feel that we are being listened upon, or we might feel like we actually know what we're talking about. Quite motivated and easygoing attitude. Surprising people. We might meet people that are worth being seen. And it's a time when you decide, okay, I shouldn't be worried about taking action. I should start thinking about actually moving forward. Saturday slows down a little bit. We do have the moon going into Virgo, so out of a sudden it's all about discipline, hard work, maybe basically, walking away from everything, hiding yourself in the home and basically catching up on all the work that you were supposed to do. On Sunday, don't put too much on yourself. Take your time. It's all about details, all about control. Maybe somebody will try to control you, or you might feel like you want to have more balance in your life, but it will be difficult to achieve, especially that the closer we get till the 28th, there will be a Mars making a trine with Neptune. So we might feel quite inspiring, but not necessarily practical. And Venus will be making a square with Pluto. So that's the lack of practical approach in here. So let's have a look at all the signs. For Aries, this energy is all about your hidden emotions, mutual resources, and work. So maybe you have to transform in order to do something. Maybe it's all about your health. Maybe you want to lose weight, or you want to be seen differently. Maybe you want to make yourself look different. Maybe you want to be approached in a different way. There might be some sort of issues with your partner. There might be some sort of issues with relationships in general during this week, especially work relationships. Anything to do with work can be more difficult. The sun going into Scorpio, it will concentrate you more on money, but also your partner's involvement. Maybe there is something that you need to speak about with your partner. Maybe there is something that isn't working. Maybe there are certain hidden information that you'll find out about a partner. There might be discussions about money in general, how to gain money, where to gain money. Maybe you will be thinking about any sort of investments during that time. And the closer you get to the weekend, that's when it becomes more fun. That's when it becomes more confidence based. Out of a sudden, you'll feel like you can take on the world, more fun, increase of money. There might be some sort of influxes of money coming through during closer to the weekend. The weekend itself for Saturday, it's fun to go out and spend some money and have fun. Sunday slows down. It puts you into a different perspective. Now, out of a sudden, you have to work. Now, out of a sudden, you have to do things. Now, out of a sudden, you have to catch up on everything that you've been working on. Then we move on to Tauruses. For Tauruses, this is all about relationships. Who are you with? Who is your friend? Who is your foe? What sort of people are around you? You might be realizing something about a partner. Good news at the beginning and meeting new friends, or maybe coming up with an idea for your future. You can feel quite goal-orientated, but the closer you get to Tuesday, the more fights, the more stress comes in. There might be some sort of issues at work. There might be some sort of delays at work. The sun going into Scorpio will put a lot of pressure on how you being seen, what sort of people are around you. Are you happy with those that are around you? Friday brings nice meetings. You might meet up with somebody. Somebody can motivate you, stimulate you, or encourage you to do something different. This weekend will be all about taking a break. Watch out for spending money or people trying to borrow money from you, because whatever you do, do not lend money to people, otherwise you might not get it back. For Geminis, this is the time to think about work and your responsibilities. Maybe you want to change your habits. Maybe you want to change your routine. Maybe you want to work more on your health. Maybe you want to change your work. And you might feel encouraged to do so. Difficulties with relationships, difficulties with feeling content within the relationship. There might be stresses. There might be some sort of information that you find out about the partner that you basically don't like. The weekend brings positive information from work, money. So you might be signing a contract, or you might be acting upon any sort of action in work. And there might be some sort of the change of plans for the weekend. So if you're planning to go somewhere, you might need to change the plans, and somebody might not come to visit you, or you might be going alone. For Cancer, this beginning of this week, good news in regards to studies, documents, law, justice, like judges, court cases, but at the same time, difficulty at home. There might be issues with your partner. with your father, with anyone to do with close relationships that you're with. The sun will move into fifth house, so that's when you become more creative. That's when you start seeing things from a different perspective. But also you'd like to have life that is more fun for a change. So walking away from people that no longer serve you. So deciding that you need to have different people in your life to be happy. There might be some sort of more issues because of children and more involvement into their life. Nice meetings with friends, coming up to friends, seeing people, running into someone will come up between Friday and Saturday, so you might actually end up spending a nice time during the Friday-Saturday time. The closer you get to Sunday, that's when it slows down. Watch out for your health, but also watch out for your moods. Out of a sudden, you can have some mood swings that are basically not positive. For Leos, this is the time to look at your home and family. Who is with you? Who is against you? Maybe you have to work on your relationship at home. Maybe you have to work on your responsibilities at home. For the sun making a square with Pluto, difficulties with neighbors, difficulties with siblings. There might be some sort of issues with documents that you have to wait for. Difficulties with your health as well, so watch out for that. Sun going into the sign of Scorpio will put the pressure on your family. Maybe you want to change something at home. Maybe you want to work on something at home. Maybe you want to improve something at home. For Friday, good news, meeting somebody, go running into someone, having fun, enjoying yourself very much. So maybe you want to do something that you haven't been doing for a while. Mercury making a quincunx with Jupiter over the weekend. You might meet friends, and you might be making promises that you might not be able to keep, so watch out for that. So whatever you speak to with friends about, best to be cautious and as reasonable as possible. Why? Because Sunday slows down. There might be some sort of issues with your stomach, but also problems with kids in general, so you might be fighting more at home. For Virgos, good news in regards to ideas, partnerships and friends. Difficulties because of work, creativity and money. So you might feel like you have to slow down. The sun goes into the sign of Scorpio. So out of a sudden, you'll be like, oh, I know what I want. I'm clear on my perspective. I know what I'm heading. I know what sort of people I want in my life. I know. Much more approachable, but also much more vocal about your needs. The closer you get to the weekend, the more fun things get. Out of a sudden, you'll be all about, oh, I'm having fun. Oh, I want to go somewhere. You might be traveling, meeting people, but also documents can come through quite positively. Over the weekend, you might feel like you are being pressured by someone. Especially work-wise, difficulties in relationships during the weekend. So you might feel that a partner is not standing up for you, or you feel like you are being left alone. For Libra, good news at work. So positive changes at work, or maybe you might have some fun at work. Somebody will be nice to you out of a sudden. So you might feel like things are actually working to your benefit. However, on Tuesday, there are difficulties with family problems at home with men, father figures, men in general, somebody that you're close with. The sun goes into the sign of Scorpio, and out of a sudden, you'll be all about money. So you might really need to think about money, about where you're getting that from. You might need more money in order to fix something at home. The closer you get to the weekend, that's when your confidence boost, that you have a bit of a boost, confidence boost running into people. You might actually feel respected, like somebody's like, oh, I'm looking up to you because you've done this and that. So you might feel like you're growing a little bit, like you feel more content with yourself. The weekend, travel, but that might be delayed. So whatever you want to do, be cautious about how much time you can take. Think about any sort of actions that you are taking, because it might take a little bit longer, and delays at work and money and spendings because of that. For Scorpios, positive information, positive creative ideas, difficulties because of details. So something can be overseen. Maybe you want to have fun and somebody forgot about you having holidays, or somebody will be, oh, can you move your holidays because of this or that? Or maybe there might be some sort of arguments at work or with your neighbors. The sun goes into Scorpio. That's when your energy concentrates more on your first house. So you become visible. Out of a sudden, everything you do, everything you say will be visible, so people will see you more than they have seen you previously. Good, you might reconnect with somebody from your past, run into somebody and have a date. You might have some nice dates during the weekend. You might go places with someone and feel looked after. The weekend brings in the energy of intimacy. So out of a sudden you'll be like, oh, I can be intimate with the person, or I can say, oh, I can tell them everything. But on Sunday you'll be like, oh my God, I need a break. I don't think this was a good idea. Maybe I've pushed it a little bit too far. So there might be a little bit of a pressure going on there. For Sagittarius, walking away from something, taking a break. Oh, I need a break. I need to walk away. I've forgotten about things. Maybe you want to be quiet. Maybe you want to forget about certain friendships. Maybe you want to go away from home. Maybe there might be some sort of issues because of money at home, because of family members, but not the ones that you live with. But the further family is a little bit more pushy. They might be imposing more stuff. The sun goes into 12th house, so you might feel like you need more sleep, beauty sleep. The closer you get to the weekend, that's when things become nicer. Out of a sudden, you'll be like, okay, I can do this. I feel more confident. You might be meeting somebody, some proper family meetings. You might feel like people are very close to you. The weekend brings in the energy of meeting people that you haven't seen for a while. But also people, you might promise to see somebody, but you'll have to postpone that. Watch out for issues with family, especially with your partner during the Sunday. For Capricorns, we're looking at the energy of good news at work. So you'll be very work or goal orientated. You might be working a little bit too much, or you might feel like you can't do all the work like you've planned to. So there might be some sort of difficulties going on there. The sun making a square with Pluto, you might feel like somebody's pushing you to do something, or you might have some sort of difficulties at home with your partner as a result of that. The sun going into Scorpio, friendships and plans. So out of a sudden you'll be like, oh yeah, I can do that. Those people are nice. I like how things are going. I like where I'm heading. Probably possible meetings, fun, sexual energy. You might be going out on a date, Capricorns, on Friday, and you might actually enjoy it. So there is that energy of, yeah, I can live with that, or I can be with that person. For Saturday, a lot of travel, so you might be traveling a lot more, you might be seeing more people, you might be into meeting more people, but at the same time you will feel like you need to slow down the closer you get to Sunday, and those might be other issues. So let's say somebody has to delay something, or you might feel like you have to delay something, or you might have to work on something different for that. So watch out for your cars and issues with travel during Sunday. For Aquarius says, good news at work on Monday. So you'll be like, oh yeah, I'm motivated. I've got new news, probably more money coming through. So you might feel like somebody's giving you money, or they might be talking about a possibility of earning more money. Difficulties with bosses. So you might feel like out of a sudden somebody's like pushing a pressure on you, or they are expecting you to do more. You might feel like, oh, they want you to do something, but it's something that you don't want to do, or somebody's not being fair with you. Maybe you've worked on something and somebody's basically like, oh, well, no, you didn't. And you're like, what? I've done most of the work. So the sun going into Scorpio, it's all about you being seen, how you are being seen, are you being perceived, and if so, how much so. And are you being, it's all about your reputation. So out of a sudden, whatever you do, trust me, you will see the results. Mars making a sextile with Uranus, that gives you positive family meetings, gatherings. You might run into somebody, you might spend time, you might do something with a person that you love, or somebody might make you feel cared for during the weekend. For Saturday, good time with kids, having fun. The closer you get to Sunday, that's when you go like, okay, I need a break. Maybe your stomach, maybe your back. You might be spending too much money during Sunday, so watch out for that. For Pisces, Monday comes in with ideas of study. Maybe you want to study, maybe you want to take a course, maybe you want to meet somebody, maybe you want to get away, and you'll be like, yeah, I can do that. I am actually quite positive. The closer you get to Tuesday, that's when you're like, oh my God, money, I need to pay this, I need to pay that. Maybe there are some sort of bills that you've forgotten about, and it will be like, oh God, I'm a little bit scary. The sun will be making a trine to your sign. So out of a sudden you'll be like, okay, I can do it. I'm a little bit more positive. I'm a bit more lucky. So I should get lucky with this. So things will be working to my benefit. On Friday, nice meetings. You might be speaking to friends. Somebody can motivate you, inspire you to do more. You might feel in generally much happier during the Friday. The weekend goes like you might be traveling to see your siblings, you might be going to see a family member, and you might feel quite good about yourself. On Sunday, there might be difficulties with your partner, there might be difficulties with your children. You might feel like you have to spend more time with a family, or you might feel like you've neglected somebody, and now all of a sudden you have to catch up on that energy. I'd like to wish you a very good week, and I'll speak to you soon.